My mission is to make people more healthy. With being healthy, you get more energy, more focus, and just feel more alive. But that's making the right choices. If you need help, I've started the lost art of being healthy, and I believe that we've lost the art of looking after ourselves, making the right choices by relying on the manufacturers and what they're feeding us. So I'm going to go back to the very basics on how to cook. We're starting with rice, how to cook rice. So it's just accepted that everybody knows how to cook rice and you just add it to your meal. But I've just got a quick introduction here, cooking rice and getting it on your plate in a nice presentable way. The basics to simply cooking rice. I use 1 part rice, 2 parts water. Here I use a glass. I know that's about 100 grams, which is 2 portions for me, one for today, one for tomorrow, or for me, whoever's eating with me. So I've measured that out. I know this glass, it's always about this level, so I've never weighed it ever since. All you do there is pour the rice into a sieve and rinse that through with water. So running water washes out all the starches, which is great for you because all the starches turn to sugar, and then it will start the absorption process for the water. Place that to the side of the sink, let that drain off, and then you just want a whole glass of water. So that's 2 pots. So half a glass of rice, a whole glass of water. Stick that in a pan and bring that to the boil. Keep the lid on so that boils and keeps all that moisture in one place. And while that's coming to the boil, just leave the sieve on the side. Make sure all the excess water is coming off to wash out all them last bits of starch. So once that pan is coming to the boil, pour in the rice and then just stir that through so you don't have a lump of rice. Make sure all that water is touching every part of each rice. Stick the lid back on and then bring that to the boil. So if you lift the lid up, keep stirring it occasionally so it doesn't stick to the bottom, but then at some point you'll notice it violently bubbling through the bottom of the rice. At this point, turn it down to a simmer so it just bubbles a bit more gently. You can keep the lid on, and after probably about 8 minutes, keep an eye on it, stir it through, and there should be just a little bit of moisture left, maybe a little bit of liquid at the bottom of the pan. Stick the lid back on, remove it from the heat, so turn the heat off and put it on the next hob if you want. Put it on the sink, don't put it on a plastic counter, but just allow all that steam and everything in there. So just keep that sealed now until you're going to need it, so all that moisture in there will be absorbed by the rice. And then if you want to go super posh when your dinner's ready, a friend of mine in Laos here, she puts that in a pot. So put as much rice in the pot as you can and put the plate upside down onto the rice pot, turn it all over as one, and then you can just lift the rice pot up and you get a nice little posh dome of rice. So when you serve your dinner, it just looks a little bit more elegant. I've got chili con carne on this evening. I was eating alone. I'd made that earlier in the week. So while the rice was resting and absorbing all that moisture, 3 or 4 minutes in the microwave, heat that up. It's all not my own fresh ingredients. So there's a quick and easy meal all in one. Time it took to cook the rice, 12 to 15 minutes. That was it done. So how healthy do you need to be? Just one point of note, not all rice is equal. Brown rice is top of the list. That's the best for you. It takes a lot more time to break down, so the glucose is released a lot slower, which is how your body should absorb it. So less of it is going to fat and sugars. Basmati rice, sort of middle of the range. I prefer that flavour, and I prefer that with my meals. And not so much of that gets burnt, reduced down to sugars so quickly. But the bottom of the list, if that's all you can afford, it is just your basic white rice. It's nice, sticky, congealed stuff, but a lot of that is just absorbed very quickly into the glucose system. So a lot of that might get put onto fat if you have too much of that. But that's all you can. It's a good healthy option, and here's a quick and easy way to do that. Nice, short, simple, and presentable way, without any excess fluid in it. Then you're all good to go. So play with the quantities and to get the consistency you like, but most of all, just play with it and enjoy it. I hope you enjoy that quick start to rice. The lost art of being healthy is I'm doing a free webinar on the 8th of September at 7 p.m. and we discuss more of this, more of the healthy choices, more of what you need. That will lead into a 10-week program as well. First 2 weeks absolutely free. See if you enjoy it. Full of recipes to go with that rice that you've just made. So join me 8th of September, 7 p.m. It's a 45-minute webinar. It's totally free. Check out the links on Eventbrite. Check me on Instagram, Facebook, and everywhere else that you'd like to look. Have a good day.